Scott Gibbs is an old fly that that was come up with on Rutland for I think it was a bench and edges match at the time. By a fella originally called Hugh McGrew. Sadly, Hugh's not with us anymore. Nice fella, good angler, strange in his ways, I can assure you that. Very strange. But still, you have to know him to get on with him, I suppose. Different in the team. Very different fella in the team. I remember us having an argument at a breakfast table once, and everybody at the breakfast table, he drew George Barron in the tin hat, and we were fishing as a team, and we all had a cup of coffee in front, and off he goes, splitting and coughing and giving it to everybody in the table group, and everybody went, I covered the coffee. Next thing you know, there was butter and everything going around the table. He used to lose his temper. So, it was murder as it was. Out to the hotel, Saracens Hotel, get out there. He wrecked the breakfast buffet. All over us, sending him up the top end of Brenner, take George Barron out to the fish. That's the first thing we done. We knew he was on fire at the time. So we took him as far away from the fish as we could possibly get him. And Hugh got the short straw. Some silver wire. Yep. I've just caught in some marabou. I've just pinched it nice and short. It's not over thick. It's not overly thick, but it's in proportion to the size of the fly. I've just caught in some medium thickness gold wire. Oh, come back. And I'm going to get my nymphet again. I'm going to take off a little length of nymphet. I'm going to double it up twice. And just catch it in the centre. With this fly, it doesn't matter about thickness because I'm going to bulk the body up with hare's ear or opossum, as it's going to be, natural opossum. The original would have been hare's ear, but since the day it was invented, we've got far better materials for bodies now than what we had at the time for it. So there's my natural opossum, very fine doofer, but a fairly wiry garter. I'm just going to take it out as it comes, basically. Give it a quick twist about your fingers, and on it goes. Just going to dub it up. I haven't dubbed it on tight, if you've noticed. I've dubbed it on fairly slack. It's quite. I'm going to allow it to be fairly slack on the hook because I want to brush it out after pulling my thorax over. There's my flashback over the top. Take away the excess. Now again, I'm going to rotate the vise towards myself a minute, just so I can see where my rib's going. Round the silk again. Just temper that off. And like most flies, you put JC down the sides. This one's got it before the thorax, so the thorax should come over the top. You'll see me do some of this when I go down some of the nymphs for mid-water fishing. Oh, come out. Again, it's a personal preference. I like the JC on this fly slightly larger than what I would if I was putting them at the eye, because I'm going to cover them with the head. I tend to like them slightly bigger so you can see them through through the dubbing that's going to get brushed over the top. So they do stick out slightly. From the table. More of the opossum. Yeah, it's getting close. And what we do, we just dub on top of itself, basically. Ooh. This vice is getting tired. And without pulling any of the marrow out, I'm just picking away some of the extra long fibres that are coming off the back end of the fly. And there's the Scott Gibbs. It's a fairly nymph-like pattern. You'd fish this on a point on a midge tip, and you'd fairly quickly figure eight it through. So you're fishing it the same as you would a cormorant, really, but it's more of a natural pattern for around weeds, limited dams, limited cruxa. It's a fairly all-round pattern, and the other thing you can do is stick it in the middle between two blobs. And when you pull in the blobs, they'll follow the top dropper more often than not. Follow the top dropper up, turn down, and there's a fairly lumpy, chunky nymph. And they've come there, they've made the effort to come and get the blob. They don't tend to leave without going for something. So I'll pass that around as well with the other buzzer. The nymph.
What was that one called, Sean?
That's a Scott Gibbs.
Scott Gibbs.
Scott Gibbs. Yeah, it's not too dissimilar from a Mackay.